Hey guys, I wanted to give you some top tips. I was lucky enough to be on a call last night where I was sharing my top 10 tips for ending the year strong and just kind of my idea on where you should be heading into the new year with the new rush of the new year and the excitement that it's going to bring, the huge bump you're going to see in your business. If you are a newer coach and you haven't experienced that new year change, I hope that you guys are excited and looking forward to that. So I apologize for sounding a little cruddy. I've battling a sinus infection, but wanted to go ahead and start this call off just by telling you that I hope that you plan to focus on the new year by taking these tips and really putting them to action. So let's go ahead and get started. Tip number 1 is going to be all about your mindset. And this is going to go a little bit with number 2 as well. But let me just tell you something, that there is nothing better than to see a coach, especially a new coach, that starts to post almost immediately to the team pages and in trainings. Whether it's asking mad questions or sharing inspiration and motivation and tips and tricks, this is when we're going to see who's going to really run with the business and who's going to start holding themselves back. So if you're one that is nervous about this, I beg you to just change your mindset. Step out of your comfort zone, you guys. A leadership mindset, needs to start in the beginning, and your team needs to see you that way early on. So if that's something that's outside of your comfort zone, I encourage you to do it. Really eat that frog and go for it. If you're someone who puts off things in the business, things that you know are important, the book Eat That Frog would be a great personal development book for you. So like I said, number 2 goes along with number 1, and I just want to talk about being present in the team pages. So maybe you don't always comment and like things in the team pages, and that's okay. But if you're one who is always in the groups but hasn't spoken up, we want to hear from you. This shows that you're a true leader. It shows that you're taking things into your own hands. Your upline coach and sponsor cannot constantly hold your hand in this business. And honestly, having team pages is a bit like holding their hand already. So really focus on getting information yourself and sharing information in the team pages often. Like I said before, we're lucky enough to have all the information that we do. Those are extras. The fact that our team has documents and files and templates that are handed to us are all extras. But we're all starting from the same point that I have and any other leader has. You're starting the same place that I did and others who are succeeding in this business. And much of it is just really getting out of your own head and deciding to stop telling yourself that you can't do it, or that I can't do this, I can't do that. She does it this way, but I can't do that. Remember, you have to build your business. No one is going to build your business for you. That's not their job. And there's a lot of power in knowing that you can build your own business. So you should be looking to create those templates, those meal plans, those groups when you can, and share it with your team, because what you do needs to be able to be duplicated by your teams. So don't be shy. Show that you're a leader. If you have coaches on your team and you aren't active in any coach groups or consistent on social media, guess who's going to follow your lead on that? Your coaches, unfortunately. So be the coach that you would want your coaches to be. Make things that are going to be useful for your teams for months to come, and ask your coaches to do the same thing. Share things that are going to be valuable for your team. Number 3 is your attitude and personal development. Guess what is immediately noticeable to me when I chat with someone or see them go into a team page and post? Either it's A, noticeable that they are doing personal development, or B, it's noticeable that they haven't done a lick of personal development in a while. I promise you, we can tell. So I used to be one that I thought I really could just do away with it because, who has time for personal development? For me, it was like if I had 10 minutes to work on the business, personal development was not making the cut. It was not going to make the top of the list. And I hate that I had that mindset in the beginning, because I now see the importance of it. So we as leaders are constantly filling up others, right? We're always filling up everybody else's cups. We're always trying to build others up. We're sharing what's working for us. We're encouraging others to stay on their journey. but we have to be filled and fueled first and foremost. So if we aren't putting ourselves first and motivating ourselves, gaining knowledge on our own, we can't possibly be the leader that we need to be to other people. So I encourage you to pick up a book, pick up a podcast, get on a YouTube channel, and dive into it. I think you're going to realize once you do that you actually have more value to add to people than you think. And you'll have things to post about all of a sudden. And you're going to have great quotes to put with your pictures all of a sudden. You're going to get more creative in your posts. And you're going to have great tips and motivation to give to your team, which is super important. Number 4. So number 4 is all about a social media presence. And I shared this on a call earlier this past month, but I want you to look at your Facebook page or your likes page or Instagram. Maybe we should be looking at all of the above and see what you come off as on social media. Are you consistent? Are you posting twice a day? Are you commenting on things to be involved and seen in other people's news feeds? Can we talk about your attitude? What about that? Is it something that others would find inviting and valuable? Or are you negative a lot? And maybe, honestly, you don't even realize it. But it's time for a gut check. It's time for you to go back to your pages and look. And I think you're going to be able to get an idea of that really quick. So think about whether or not your post would be something that would draw a customer in. If you were a customer looking to do something new, you're trying to get in a group, you're looking for a coach, are your daily posts something that would attract them to you, or does the negativity actually draw them further from you? And what about how genuine you are in sharing your journey? Do you talk about your own journey and share you and your story? Or are you just trying to sell products constantly on your page? Are you mimicking another coach that's really not true to you? Maybe you don't realize it. And yes, you look up to coaches that are doing great things in the business. But who's to say that you can't do that as well, doing your own thing? We want to look at what things coaches are doing that's working, and that's absolutely fine. But what you don't want is a coach or a potential customer who goes to 2 different pages and you're posting almost identical to that other coach. Okay, so be true to you. Your page should not be an ad for Beachbody, honestly. We're trying to create our own brand. So is your page 80% you and 20% about Beachbody? Honestly, go and check that. Go see about your posts. These things need to be looked at, and you should encourage your coaches to look at their pages and see what can be tweaked. I was going back to when I first became a coach and looking at things that I had done, and so many of them were things that failed. But we really do have to fail in order to succeed in this business. So if you're afraid of failing, you cannot succeed as a Beachbody coach. You just can't. My dad, who was a huge skeptic of all of this in the beginning, but he's now turned, one of my number 1 fans, we're hoping. He once said to me in my teaching days, when my anxiety was through the roof, what would you attempt to do if you knew you couldn't fail? And I sat there and thought, a freaking lot more than I do right now. But I was so afraid. But you guys, we're meant for big things. And I'll tell you one thing that I always did from the beginning, and that was to be active. I got active, and I was a presence in team pages, and I was a presence on Facebook. And I shared this with my team, and I really, I've shared this with you guys off and on, but I want to share that you need to be pursuing your dreams. Please see yourselves as diamond coaches. See yourself as a 2-star diamond coach. Do you see yourself that way now? Because you should already be posting as though you are that coach. And that includes on social media and even in the coach groups. When I first became a coach and just had a few coaches on my team, I brainstormed with them a lot. They were naturally my success partners because I was learning and so were they. We were both learning, and I was okay with saying, girl, I don't know the answer to that. Let's find out together. And so we had brainstorm sessions in a message thread or in a small group or on Zooms. Come up with cool team ideas together. Have them included. Push them and let them push you along the way. Number 5 is be duplicatable. So this means that you are making it easy for a coach to duplicate what you're doing as a successful coach and leader. When I look at my team page and training, I want to know that my coaches can take valuable information away from the documents to help make things easier for them so that you can work harder or smarter, not harder. I'm all about working smarter and not harder. And we all know the time is precious. So this business needs to be something that you can duplicate. Now, when I say that, I go back to saying I do not mean copying other coaches' work, okay? You need to take the time to make your posts creative and be your own. But being you and sharing with your team what you do daily during your power hour or your power of threes or however you may do it, this should be something that a new coach comes in and they're not too overwhelmed and they think that I can actually do that. Number 6, visualizing. So what I want you doing is sharing what you want from your business and sharing that in groups. Put it out in the freaking universe what you want out of this business. If you haven't made a vision board yet, guess what should be your personal development and homework for this week? A vision board, okay? If you are not Emerald yet, Emerald needs to happen for you. And that begins with seeing how you're going to get there, writing it down. There's no reason why you can't make that happen. The hopes is that you're running challenge groups and those challengers are getting results, right? So now why not turn them into coaches? That's what you want. You want to have challengers turning into coaches and you want to always be inviting others to the coaching opportunity. And they don't have to be in a challenge group in order to do that. Emerald is literally, you guys, 2 active coaches. You can totally do that, I promise you. I think for whatever reason, we feel like all of these ranks are so tough when we first start out. And half the time, I bet you are telling yourself that because you're really afraid of failure. So go back to the quote. What would you attempt to do if you know that you couldn't fail? And guess what? Once you hit Emerald, what should you be doing? I want you thinking about hitting Emerald again. It's as small and as simple as that, okay? You do that and you're halfway to Diamond. Set that goal constantly in your mind to just always be advancing to Emerald each month or twice a month or whatever. And before you know it, it's not actually been that long and you have all the coaches that you need for Diamond. And in the meantime, you're giving your coaches the same advice because we want them becoming Emerald. Who doesn't want free leads from Beachbody and cycle bonuses and recognition and all the fun stuff that comes along with that? But you've got to first believe that you can do it. And it's going to start with a lot of visualization. So I want you to visualize for 1 second, okay? We're like, 9 months out from Summit. So in about 9 months, I was a 2-star Diamond, maybe 3-star Diamond coach. I have to go back and look. But I became a Diamond in about 4 months. And I want you to see yourself walking across the stage being recognized for the rank that you want to be at Summit. I want you to think of the details down to what you're going to wear. I want you to be thinking about what you're going to be thinking backstage. The entire team that's there and the tens of thousands of other people that are all there cheering you on as you're announced and walking across that stage. And visualize what you will be at that point. What kind of leader are you going to be? What rank? What will your income be? You have to do this stuff in order to really see the possibilities there. So do that daily if you can. If you need that kind of reassurance, do that daily. It can be in the shower, before bed, maybe after saying your prayers, during your power hour, on your way to work, whatever, I don't care. But try it and see if your outlook on life in general doesn't change because you've changed the way that you're looking at things. And again, personal development is really good for that. Number 7, goals. Having goals written down by holidays, okay? And that kind of goes by this, by holiday or by big life events. So for me, I write down my goals like this. Where do I want to be with rank and income by the Success Club trip? Okay, that's my first step in the new year. That's usually around March. Then again, where do I want to be income and rank at Summit? So now you're noticing a quarterly trend here with my goals. Then again at leadership around October. And again at the new year, so the end of December, maybe December 31st. So, you could do it as Easter and Halloween and, Christmas, whatever you choose to do. And if you need to, reverse engineer those to see what you need to do to hit those specific goals that you've laid out. Nothing should be, well, I hope that I hit blank rank, but then there's absolutely no map as to how to do it. You've got to create a plan. I will be Diamond and making $500 a week. Yet you have no plan as to where those 8 coaches and 2 Emeralds are coming from. And there's no placement strategy for your income growth. You have to be thinking ahead. Number 8, what is holding you back from being out there and putting yourself out there? So this is the thing. You just have to start treating your business like a 6-figure business long before it is. Are you afraid of crickets? You know, when I first began posting on social media, guess who got crickets on all the posts about a coaching opportunity? Or even when I would do shout outs for my team, I would do public recognition and literally I would get like 5 likes. And it was the 5 that I was shouting out in that recognition post. And that's just the way it worked, you guys, because people were watching for a really long time and they wanted to know that I was serious and I wasn't going anywhere in the business. So had I let that get me down, who knows what would be in my business right now, honestly. But you can't hold your own self back. Decide now is the time to invest in your business, invest in your coaches and your challengers. If you're listening to this and you haven't publicly shared either your own transformation or your story or why you became a coach in a genuine, heartfelt way, guess who wants you to do that this week? I do. So I want you to tag your coach, tag your upline when you go for that, and we're going to support you in it. It's not about being afraid anymore. It's about doing those scary things and just doing them. Hit post and walk away, but do it, because January, you guys, is huge. I know that you keep hearing people talk about it, but I mean it, and you have to be thinking ahead. I mean, as far ahead as the release of the 22-minute hardcore with Tony Horton in the first quarter of 2016. Okay? Masters Hammer and Chisel in December. All those things. How do you plan to really promote those releases and get people on board? And all those people that are going to be going to the website to order, they have those New Year's resolutions, they have their Christmas gifts that they're going to use. They're not going to have a coach, a lot of them. And those people are going to be assigned to a coach as a free lead to Emeralds and above. So to get in on that, you really have to be qualified for those. And that means you're getting to your rank goals, you're hitting Success Club so that you get those leads. And not only that, you do those things because your team needs to see you doing that too. Remember, when you committed to yourself to a challenge group just as a challenger and that lifestyle change that really forever impacted your life, remember that feeling? Why in the world are we not all committing to this as a coach in the same way that we did that as challengers? I encourage you guys to really look at it that way. Number 9, I want to talk about celebrating others' success. Have you ever heard the quote, "There's enough sparkle to go around, sprinkle that shit everywhere"? I promise you, there's enough to go around. Building someone else up is not going to put you down, and being a light for others when they hit a big goal is not going to dim your own light. So remember that we're a team. I don't know about you guys, but there are some people who literally dread Thursdays because they play the comparison game every single Thursday. They see rank advancements happening, and instead of going in and congratulating those people, they're asking themselves, why did they get there already? Why aren't they there yet? Why aren't I blank rank right now? You know, we signed up around the same time, etc. Don't do this. I've gotten myself caught up in that game as well. Don't do it. It's going to drain you. Comparison really is the thief of joy. So we can all succeed in this business, and honestly, we do it better as a team. So start celebrating other successes. Start thinking of Thursday as a great day versus something that you kind of dread. And know that your time for celebration will come. And you'll want people to be celebrating you and having your back when that time does come for you. And last but not least is number 10 on my list, and that is being present using your past. So I've talked about this in the past. I want you to take what you've been through and see the rainbow through all of that. Maybe you have some things that you've been through, and I can promise you that everyone's why is probably pretty powerful. But take those negative things that have happened to you and use them to drive your business. Be vulnerable. Share the troubles that you faced and how you overcame them. How this helped if that's the case. Maybe Beachbody has saved you for some reason. And use that for good and to be a positive light now. You guys have a great platform right now as coaches to use on social media. Be a platform, be a source of positivity for people who need it. You have a powerful story that is capable of changing a lot of lives, but you just have to decide that, you know, enough is enough, and you're going to share it, and you're going to do this, and you're going to go for it. So those are my top 10 tips. I hope that you're able to take some things away from this and maybe even share it with your teams. But, you know, remember, things may be slow right now. You know, the holidays are coming up and the fall months are upon us. But there's a huge surge that's going to happen in January. And you have to be doing all of the steps now to even see or feel that surge at all in January. So if you feel like it's slow, then you don't slow down with it. You actually work harder, okay? So I hope that you guys really try to take some of these tips and put them to use. And good luck. Happy pushing through the new year. And I'll see you soon. Bye.